What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It is July 21st and it's been All-Star break, and you know what, I'm sorry for going ahead and not making videos the last 2 days, but I felt that it was fine. There's nothing really to talk about in the sports world really that much, and usually I wouldn't do that, but it was All-Star break for the Giants and MLB, so you know what, it was my All-Star break technically. I'm just making that up, but you know, I just felt that I shouldn't need to make any videos. I should have made one yesterday, but I'm just going to make what I would have said yesterday. I'm going to make it today, and that is about the All-Star game and the American League winning their 9th straight All-Star game. So that obviously is not good, and the Giants, you know, they had one All-Star there, which was Jock Peterson, and he was starting, and he was batting 8th. He ended up striking out twice and went 0 for 2, which sucked, because, you know, it's obviously nice to see one of your teammates or whatever, one of the Giants and players for your favorite team going ahead and doing something big in the All-Star game, such as Giancarlo Stanton, which I'll talk about in a second. But, you know, it's fine. It's really just for fun, as far as it's not, I mean, it's competitive, but it's not something that, like, really is going to go on a track record, obviously. I mean, All-Star games, you can have it on a track record, and I know that they do, and it is a big deal, and I would be happy at the National League one, but I'm not going to go ahead and say, like, anything, and, you know, go ahead and say, oh, well, that sucks that they lost, it's the end of the world, because if you look at all those players out there, they're having a fun time, even if they're losing. If they strike out like Jock Peterson and stuff, he still had a smile on his face, I feel, and he still was happy to be there. And, you know, any All-Star that makes it to All-Star game, even if you have a bad performance, you should still be happy because you made it to the All-Star game. So with that being said, I'm going to give a quick recap as far as, not a recap, but my favorite players and who is going to be my player of the game and all that. So because I was cheering for the National League, it's going to be kind of like the Giants, and if the Giants lose and stuff, I give a Giants player of the game and then an overall player of the game for the winning team, and then I'm going to give, first of all, my National League player of the game, because that's the team I was really hoping would win still, and I am going to give it to Paul Goldschmidt. He had a humongous home run, making it a 2-0 game early on, and that was really nice to see. And then Tony Gonsilin came in for us pitching, and he ended up coming in, I think he was either the 4th or 5th inning. I'll put it in the description. I did not see when he ended up coming in. He gave up a 2-run shot to Giancarlo Stanton that was just, it was way out of the park. I think it was 450 feet or something like that. I mean, it's incredible, and I guess from what I was seeing on Twitter is that is the hardest hit ball in the All-Star game since StatCast era, which was like, I don't know when StatCast era ended up starting. I think it wasn't too long ago, but still, I mean, that is just a monster home run, there is no doubt. So then it was 2-2, and then Tony Gonsilin ended up giving up another home run, making it a 3-0 or 3-2 game, and then he ended up getting the loss, which, you know, there's some good things and some bad things about it. I know that even though you're on a team and you're not really cheering for specific teams, as far as like if a Dodger, who Tony Gonsilin is a Dodger, was to give up that game and get the loss, I know I shouldn't be happy, but I am a tiny bit happy because it's a Dodger, obviously, that got the loss. And still, I do feel bad for him because he is, what, 10-1? I think he went 10-0 and then just lost his first game. So he's like 10-1 in the regular season right now, which is obviously a great stat for him. And so I really do kind of feel bad for him. But also, like I said, the All-Star game, it is competitive and stuff, but also you can get some smiles and laughs and get to like talk with other players that you normally don't get to talk with, and as teammates in the same dugout. And you know, it's weird seeing Giants players talk to like Dodgers players, but you know, they could be friends, and especially Jock Peterson, he was on the Dodgers for the longest time, obviously, so he probably did some catching up with some Dodgers players, like, you know, it's a normal thing. If you want to talk with teammates, that's totally fine, especially if it's a rival like the Dodgers. You know, just have fun, talk with them. Even if you have the bad outing, still talk with them. Another thing, Clayton Kershaw started off this game, gave up a first pitch single to Shohei Ohtani, who ended up saying that he was going to go ahead and swing at the first pitch and get a single is what he ended up saying in the beginning, and that's exactly what he did. But then he got picked off by Clayton Kershaw, and that was a big thing. And I think Shohei Ohtani's like, wait a minute, you can't go ahead and do that in the All-Star game. You can, but there was smiles from Clayton Kershaw. He was happy he did that. I think Ohtani was pretty happy. I mean, he still got on base. He probably wasn't happy that he got picked off, but both of them were smiling, and that's fine. And then we ended up seeing more and more. There was quite a bit of action. It was more just pitching duels, like I said, just some mistake pitches from pitchers that made it a different game and made it a 3-2 game, but still kind of like pitchers doing pretty well against each other. And so with that being said, I'm going to give out my player of the game, and actually, you know what, I just wanted to say something real quick, which is Clayton Kershaw. I saw him it was still in the middle of the game, but after his performance, he went up to have a press conference, and this little kid, I don't know if you guys saw it, I'll put that video down in the description, but this kid, I don't remember how old he is. I think he was like 10 or 12, something like that, I forget. It will say in the video, but he went ahead and ended up going ahead and saying and going up there and talking to Clayton Kershaw, which takes a lot of courage, obviously, and that's what Clayton Kershaw even said. He said that his grandpa's bucket list was to have him go ahead and meet Clayton Kershaw, and that's exactly what he ended up doing. He ended up having tears, and Clayton Kershaw, even though that he is a Dodger, I have so much respect for him. I don't like him when he's going against us, obviously, because he's just so darn good. But, Clayton Kershaw, he looks like one of the kindest baseball players I've ever seen. And, he was so nice to this kid. He was like, oh, come here. He gave him a hug, had a picture with him. It was amazing to see him do that. And, even though he's a Dodger, I wouldn't mind meeting him. It is a shame that he is a Dodger. If he was on any other team, I would love him so much. But, still a really nice guy, and I wouldn't mind meeting him one day. So with that being said, I'm going to give out my player of the game. My overall player of the game is going to go to, obviously, Giancarlo Stanton with that monstrous home run that made it the tied 2-2 game. And then he ended up just being good at the plate in general. He had a really good All-Star game, and if I was a Yankees fan, I would be super happy to see one of the players for my favorite team going ahead and showing to the world how monstrous this person is. And then my National League player of the game, my player of the game for the team that did lose, but because, like I said, I was cheering for them, I'm still going to get them a player of the game. It's going to be Paul Goldschmidt, and because of him having that home run, which was a pretty big home run, and he made it a 2-0 game at the time. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. The Giants have a game today against the Dodgers at Dodgers Stadium, so hopefully we can go ahead and do it. So go Giants, and thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow.